So I have my two mason jar cookies because I'm going to show y'all two different ways to do this. I'm going to remove some of that extra icing off my hand first, off my glove, maybe not. All right, so I'm going to start, and let's see, we'll start this way. On both of them, actually, I'm going to grab my whites. Then again, I'm going to clean off that tip. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually outline the entire cookie with the white. And the reason I'm doing that is just kind of give it, the look like that maybe it's actual glass, maybe it's kind of frosty looking. Okay, and then I'm going to draw that line. That's going to be our little lid up there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other cookie. And even though I'm basically going to do the same exact pattern on both cookies, the difference is that one's going to be wet on wet and one's going to be wet on dry. And you'll see what I mean. It just gives a completely different look to your cookie. But this, I'm going to go ahead with both of them and fill in the top. And we can add some little lines for detail after that dries to give it the look like it has ridges. If you want to, you don't have to. All right, and because I know I'm going to come back and do some little lines on there, I'm not going to worry if there's little peaks or anything like that. All right, grabbing the yellow, cleaning the tip, and then on this one, I'm just going to go ahead and flood. Go ahead and grab a hold of that because that's a fairly big area to flood. Okay, and I'm just going to play with that a second to make sure it's good and filled in. I've got no gaps on the edges. My stylus, just play with it just a little bit. All right, and then I'm just going to push this guy way over to the side, let it dry. And then I'm going to work with this one. I'm going to do the same thing I just did, and then I'm going to go ahead and flood it. And again, it's a little bigger area to flood, so I'm using both hands to squeeze. Okay. All right, so that looks pretty nice and full to me. So I'm going to make a cube of ice down in the bottom. So this is how I do this. Do y'all remember drawing these in school? And just, messing around on some paper while you're supposed to be taking notes. Maybe y'all didn't do that, I did. Anyway, that's just that real simple geometric square thing going on there. And it's going to sink down into the icing and make it look like it's ice in the jar. Okay. Then I'm going to come over here. Let me see how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to put a slice of lemon floating at the top. Kinda. This may not be quite as good as I thought it was going to be. Do you see how I'm going to do that? I'm just going to pull a little bit of detail into there. It kinda looks like a lemon. I don't know. Maybe not. I'll let y'all decide whether you want to do that or not. I'm just pulling little tiny bits back in to the center of the lemon slice. Let's do one more, because things look better in threes, right? Roll it in. Okay, and I'm just gonna, I think, put a little line in here, play with this a minute in all of these. Okay, I know that doesn't look good. But we're just gonna, just kind of, does that make sense? Kind of poke it into there, play with it a little bit. It's gonna give it a little dimension, and people are gonna see that and probably actually figure out that it is a lemon slice after you do it. All right. So that does have to dry a bit because we need to come back and do the ridges. So I'm gonna push this one over to the side. And I think, well, I'm just going to stop it here and we'll grab our sun next.